Hi, I'm Jesse Petersen and welcome to our first art tutorial with art journaling. I'm so excited you're here and I want to show you what we're going to make today. We're going to make a bio page. I'm so excited. I think it's a fun way to just, break into the newness of your journal is do something that is fun and easy to make. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to do the swatches, lay out the steps, the supplies, you know what I'm saying.
That's it.
All right.
Nailed it.
Okay, acrylic paint is what we're gonna use, and it came in your subscription box, and we're going to use some red. So we've got some red right here, I'm seeing. And we're gonna use orange, which Keenan's favorite color is. There is something sticking to my brush. I don't know if you saw on camera, but I got to get it
I'll
off there.
tell you, it's sunset orange.
Yeah, favorite.
Yeah, they're so pretty.
Mm-hmm. All right, and I'm going to use a little bit of pink. Let's get my brush a little bit cleaner so I can see what the pink actually looks like. And there's another color in the subscription box, yellow, but we're just going to use these three colors today. We're also going to use a Posca pen. This is a red Posca pen. And I'm going to hold it here so that you guys can see it on the camera as I'm taking it off. I wanted to start with a new one so you'd know how it kind of works. If you've never used one of these before, this is an acrylic pen. And whenever you first use it, it's white. Probably not going to be able to show that. Can you see that white now?
You can see that, yeah.
Okay. So it starts out with white and you got to prime it. So you got to shake it.
Like a shake weight?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It feels like a long time to do it, but you just got to do it. And then you're going to push on it. Can you see that from the side cam?
Yes, I can.
And it's going to start, going, that paint's going to go into the...
Eventually, it will come home.
Yeah. But I wanted to show you so you weren't like, there's something wrong with my pen, because there's nothing wrong with your pen. This is how it goes when you first start. See, there it goes. Can you see that? Now do you see the pigment in the tip?
I definitely see the red pigment in the tip of the pen.
That's our red Posca pen. We're also going to use a white one, which is for fun. I'm going to do this, but you probably can't see it on your white paper. So,
Ghost pen.
Ghost pen. All right. So those are our supplies we're going to use, as well as our paper that's in the box, collage paper. This paper right here. And because it's a bio page, I don't want you to shy away from using an image of yourself. Like, it's your story and you're in there, so it's good to use a picture of yourself. I printed a page of photos of myself out and a couple different sizes, because then I can kind of judge after, like, what's going to fit on my page. So we'll do that. And yeah, so that's what you're going to need. I'll put this to the side. And
a bio page is what exactly?
Oh, well, a traditional bio page can be a little more boring than what we are doing. I'm so glad you asked that.
Well, I was just curious.
It could be like, you could say this is like 2020, this is my journal, and I'm Jesse Petersen, and I live here, and I do this, or, whatever. But yeah. I thought to give more insight and make it more fun that we could answer a question that gives you some information about yourself and makes you kind of think at the same time. And it becomes a more interesting art journal page. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start. I'm using this oval mop brush, which is one of my favorites, because it has this curved sort of shape to it, and it gives you sort of some soft edges. So I'm going to pick up some red paint.
Do you want to push that up a little bit, your journal?
Yeah, like this?
Yes.
Great.
Perfect.
So we're going to just and I put a little water in this acrylic paint just to get it flowing and whatnot. Is
that the norm for acrylic paint, to add water to it?
That's a great question. So acrylic paint, you can use it just straight how it is, and it'll be thicker like this. Or you can water it down to sort of get an effect like watercolor, where you can sort of have it be a little more transparent. I mean, the pigment in acrylic paint doesn't act the same way as watercolor, so it won't be exactly like that, but you can mess around with it. So I would just say explore and see if you like adding a little more water and what that does to it and how you feel about it. So we're just gonna keep going with our red here.
I actually recently did some art journaling myself with some acrylic paint.
How'd that go?
It went really well. I didn't use any water though, and it was just thick.
Yeah?
Yeah, like a bowl of oatmeal, thick.
And was that what you were going for?
Yeah, because I wanted to cover the whole page in a different color.
Nice. Okay, so I started using the orange. And I'm just gonna bump into that red a little bit, but I'm just gonna keep coming down with it. Like this. We'll just do a little more orange, and then we're gonna blend into our pink. And it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just having fun. We're just putting paint down. No big deal. It's whatever. I like going slow sometimes and just thinking about the paint and nothing else, because it's sort of a meditative experience for me. I kind of like that. Okay, so we almost got our orange down, and now we'll switch to pink. Here
It's
we
like
go.
a cotton candy pink.
It really is a great cotton candy pink. And you can have it where it overlays like this. So this is kind of that thicker amount of paint over top of the orange, or you can have it where it gradates, or you have a gradation of transition of color here. So you can just play around with that, see what you like better, and mess around with the amount of water that you're using with your acrylic paint to sort of achieve that. And it's gonna be great no matter what you do. It's just fun to explore. I'm going to show you, if you want the orange to be more of a transition, then you just get some more orange on your brush, come back in here and kind of try to work back into your pink like that. So you're almost like paint mixing right on your paper. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so we're gonna need that to dry for us to do our next step. So at this point, I could use a heat gun, or we could pause for a second. Okay, so we'll put this aside and let that dry, and we'll move on to the next step. So I have like a little cutting mat right here, and I have my photos. And I think this is easier than trying to figure out the exact size of what you want your photo to be, just to print out a couple different ones. And I'm going to use an X-Acto to just trim out the image really fast. But you could use scissors too if you don't have that. And cutting with an X-Acto is, seems intimidating, but it comes with practice. So no big deal, as long as you don't get your finger in there, you're good.
When you say X-Acto, could you elaborate?
Oh yeah, this is a craft knife. The X-Acto is the brand.
Ah.
And I really like this one because it has like a grip, so I'm not too worried about that. All right, I'm gonna turn my page so it makes it easier for me to cut along the way that I want to. That kind of helps me. But you can totally don't need to be precious about this. Like, it's no big deal. Just cut it with scissors or whatever you got and keep on going. Okay, almost got this.
I'd actually like to see the biggest knife someone can use to cut their picture out.
Ooh.
You know, like an 8 or 9 inch blade, just you got a butcher knife cutting their picture out of paper.
When you said that, I just imagined someone with a sword, and I was like, that probably would not work out because the knife isn't the same shape, and yeah.
You've got the Witcher's broadsword cutting your picture out.
It's fun imagery. I like it. Okay, so we got that cut out. You know, and if you do it like that, sometimes you could even use the negative space in a fun way. I don't know. Get that out of here. Get that out of here. Oh my goodness. I totally forgot to tell you about the prompt cards that I'm using for this project. So I'll do that. So I have these recipe cards. I like to call them that because they're just like recipes for art. And there's 2 different types. Technique cards that have art techniques on them, and prompt cards that have prompts on them. So yeah, this one is the technique card that we're using for our art today, and it basically says what I'm gonna suggest that we do, but we're gonna walk through it together. And then this one is all about making a bio page and getting over the fear of your new blank journal, to start by doing this. And you can answer a couple different questions it suggests here. But I'm going to answer the question, what makes me happy? And you can find that on your, well, I'll put it here so you can see it through the overhead cam.
Cool.
What makes me happy? Right here, this I'll just cut with scissors. But any of these things could be questions you could answer. So you are brave, and you can list all of these things that make you brave. Feel good songs, things I want to try, people I admire. Or you could think of another question.
And for those, real quick, I want to go back to those technique and prompt cards
Oh, yeah.
as a question. Did you mention those will come with the subscription box?
I didn't. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
I just wasn't sure if I missed it.
Yeah, so you get 3 prompt cards and 3 technique cards in your subscription box. And my hope is that it'll just be a jumping off point for you to explore. But you can mix and match them however you want. And as you collect cards in future boxes, then you can mix them with those. So it's kind of a neat thing.
Nice.
Okay, so we got that cut out. So this is kind of where we're going with this, right? And if you don't like the line, you can always just get back in there and trim it off. It's no big deal though. As long as you're having fun, that's what matters. Okay. So we're gonna use this paste that also comes in your box. And I like to use a palette knife, but whatever you got around will be just fine. And you don't need a lot of this. You just need a thin layer.
I actually think we might have some of those, whatever shape that is, that tool you're using on our website.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
A palette knife? That is excellent. Okay. I don't know if you can see this glue like showing up on the camera. Is it shiny? Whoop. It's sticky, that's for sure.
It is shiny. It's showing up a little bit.
Okay. I love this glue because it is a slow working glue, which means it doesn't dry super fast, so that makes it workable. So you can kind of take your time and mess around with it. It's non-toxic, it's water soluble, so if you get it on something and you just want to wash it off with water, you are good to go. Whoop! See? And stuff like that can happen. It's no big deal because it's still going to stick for me. Thank goodness. All right. Are we still in the frame here? We're good?
Oh yeah, you're looking good.
Okay. So I'm just going to, I cut my picture off at the bottom pretty straight, and I'm just going to line it up because then it won't just be a floating head. It'll kind of, this sort of anchors it, which is, you know, a design principle, I guess, that you can keep in mind if you want, but do whatever you want. Okay, so now we'll stick this down.
Nice. Look how you pop off the page.
And that's another thing. You can use black and white, and that will give you more contrast because of the color that you're using. But you can decide the photo that you're using if it needs to be black and white, or
Put a
you can
whopper on there.
You can mix up the colors that you're using in the background too to go along with your photo better. It's your journal, so you can do whatever you want. Whatever makes you happy, right? Whoop. That's what I mean. See, I stuck it down in a weird spot and it will kind of move for me. You see that? Which is nice. That's why I really like this glue a lot.
Oh, so it doesn't like adhere immediately.
No, it kind of will slide around and you have some room for air there. So like if it's a little crooked, I can still mess with it. All right, but I'm going to stop messing with it. It might make your fingers a little sticky though. So that's one thing, you want to get your hands not with glue on them so you don't stick glue somewhere you don't want to glue. But, all right. So next step is we will embellish our photo with this red pen. And I'm just going to put dots on there and kind of space them out a little bit. And then we'll go back in and put some white dots. So that's what I'm going to do. Is this a side cam sort of thing? What should I?
It does have a lot of your head.
Okay, my goodness. That's a hard thing to remember.
It is.
Keep your head out of the shot. All right, here we go. This is another one of those things that like you can get really detailed and just do this forever. And I love it because it's just repetitive, awesome and calm. Now I put orange back there hoping that the red would show up. I did do a version where I did red at the bottom and then I tried my red pen and it did not show up. So I just want you to know that everything that I do doesn't always work out the first time. around. If it doesn't work out for you the first time, that's okay. It's all right. Do it again.
Just
It's your
try
journal.
again, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I feel pretty good about those red dots. And now we'll do the white Posca pen, which also comes in your box. And I'll start right here. And this, I'm just kind of thinking like, I'm going around the red dot with the white dots, sort of like a little flower or something. You know what I'm saying?
More important question, what's the story with that ice cream?
Oh, this photo, when my friend Lizzie took a photo of me, and I was doing filming for another project, and I was kind of a little stressed about it, and I was like, let's go get some ice cream. But I still had my like hair done and stuff, so I felt like I looked cool. And yeah, I had.
So is ice cream your favorite dessert then?
Oh yeah, chocolate ice cream is like my go-to. It just makes me feel better whenever I'm needing a little.
We probably need some chocolate ice cream here at work.
Yes, we do. Okay, almost done with these dots. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can just kind of go with it, whatever. We're just embellishing what we got going on here. No big deal. And if you can't do it all in one sitting, you can get back to it. That's the fun thing about your journals. You can take it with you and add those dots when you're in line waiting. You know, at the DMV.
That's what I was going to say, the DMV, just hanging out.
I'm just thinking about that because I got to get my license switched over soon. Okay, so feeling good about that. Now, you might want to give yourself a second for that paint to dry because I just bumped mine. It's no big deal, but if you want to come back in here and start journaling and you stick your hand down on there, you're going to need a minute for it to dry. Okay, so now we can answer the question, what makes me happy? And I like the idea of a prompt like this because you might add these things as you think about them, and they might not happen all in one sitting, or they might serve as a good reminder to be, I don't know, have a little gratitude like that day about something. So I'm going to write chocolate ice cream first.
Yeah.
What are some things that make you happy, Keenan? I can write it down.
Well, I was going to say chocolate ice cream if you asked me.
Oh, man.
So I'm going to have to say I love Reese's.
Ooh. How do you spell Reese's? I don't want to get this messed up.
R-E-E-S-E, comma, S.
Reese's. I like it.
Apostrophe, not comma. Sometimes I know words.
I wrote the apostrophe even though you said comma, so that's fine. I'm going to write, I like peppermint tea too. I was just getting over being sick, and that was like helping me a lot. These are all food related, except for I wrote red hair in between there while you were thinking about what you wanted. Road trips.
Oh.
You like road trips?
I grew up on road trips. Several days worth of vehicle travel was in my life. So yes, I like road trips. Road trip music, thinking like George Strait, Dwight Yoakam, Shania Twain.
Okay, so I wrote road trips with my feet on the dash, which I'm pretty sure really bothers my husband, but it's just not like a good road trip if I don't put my feet up.
Actually, really bothers me that you do that. I just found that out.
I'm so sorry. If I have to go on a road trip with you, it will be hard for me not to do that. I'm gonna write all the lavender things because that makes me happy. I'm trying to avoid the red dots a little bit because they're still wet. See, I got a little bit on there, but that's all right. I actually like family parties.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna write fresh cut grass because that's what I like about summer. Happy Meal.
Yes.
I know that probably sounded like Happy Meal, like from McDonald's, but that's not what I'm saying. Happy Meal, like actual real mail from someone I'm excited to get mail from.
Oh.
Movie quotes. I'm gonna write movie quote humor because I don't just like movie quotes. I like it when someone uses a movie quote to make a joke about a situation. I think that we do that a lot here at
We
work.
do that a lot here. The Office is a big. I know you haven't watched The Office, but
I can't
The
believe you're
Office is a
calling me
big.
out like that
Well, I had
on
to.
this.
I had to. I can't lie to people. They need to know who you are.
I have watched episodes, but I haven't watched all of them. Okay, I'm really embarrassed now. I'm writing garage sales at thrift stores because I like the thrill of the hunt. Do you like that?
I have a problem. I love Marketplace on Facebook because there's stuff I don't need that I want on there.
Let's see, what else can I write?
Trucks. You should probably put trucks in there for both of us.
Okay. I don't have a truck right now. That's okay. Oh, one thing, when you get to the end of this, you might want to think of like one words, so you're not like not finishing a sentiment or whatever. It doesn't really matter. There's no rules, but I'm gonna put it could be whatever you want, and you don't even have to go like around the photo like this. You can do it however you want, and you can keep going. You can keep adding to this as you think about it, and fill up the page if you want, or you could leave it kind of like this. It's up to you. It's your art journal, but I'm excited to see you try this and how you might make it your own. And I think sharing is a really fun way to do that. And you guys can share what you made in our Facebook group, which is called Let's Make Art Journals. And yeah, you just made your first page in your art journal. Good job. You did it. Let's keep going. I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.